Welcome everybody to the show. We got a
Welcome,
lot to
guys.
talk about. A lot happened
Indeed.
since
Yeah.
our watch along. We'll probably just talk about the watch along for the vote. We had quite a bit in that happened in that day, with Drew McIntyre cleanly pinning. Well, I'll go cleanly pinning Cody Rhodes because
Yeah.
Solo just come out and spiked him like in WrestleMania 39 out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
It happened again.
which afterwards gave in the medical room a stare from Seth going like "I told you so" kind of stare.
Yeah.
You need my
You
help.
need that shield. You need that shield.
Exactly. And Sammy got a rematch by Shinsuke Nakamura also in that for the week after. We'll talk about that when we get to that because Sammy is on a bit of a losing streak and he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah.
We also
Who's going to win a match first? Solo Sikoa or Sami Zayn?
You'll never know at this. You would never know at that point. Then you had the end of the qualifiers, which we learned on that watch along. Bobby Lashley was gonna be in the qualifier, and Raquel Rodriguez is gonna be in the chamber. You know.
Yep.
And Bobby Lashley, the last two people in the chamber. We learned Bronson Reed was even though he's Australian, the reason why he didn't actually turns out that he had a kid, which congratulations to him. It's one of the reasons why he didn't actually qualify. He was actually originally slated to be there in a world title match against Seth Rollins was the original plan. But then Seth got injured and then he had a kid, so they both work out anyway.
Yeah.
So there was that. You had the Judgment Day executing R-Truth.
Yeah. For R-Truth.
It's top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah.
Of all time. He did not need it, but then he teamed up with DX. We saw that.
Yeah. Big up Shawn Michaels.
And the Triple H back. Yeah. I'm surprised Triple H can wrestle with the Peacemaker, but he's back in the ring. We had Dakota Kai trying to apologize to Bayley for everything.
I'd accept her apology.
I know you would. And we had Jimmy Uso. Uso show up to ruin the day. We were all rooting for Mr. Yeet. He almost beat Gunter, but then Jimmy once again cost his brother a title for about the third time. In the last year.
Yeah, he cost him the United States against.
Cost him the United States, the Universal Championship, and now the Intercontinental Championship. On the space of the last few months.
Yeah,
so realistically, he needs to put that obstacle to bed before he ever wants to win a singles title.
Yeah, and that is by beating his brother at WrestleMania this year.
Which, like Johnno, he has a hat for it. We're going to have another Civil War. Civil War. With the Usos version.
Yeah.
Brother versus brother. Probably another tribal combat kind of feel like in the universe with Roman. That's probably what they're going to call it again.
Yeah. I think that match has a big influence on the main event as well. So.
I think what you do, I think with the Jimmy versus Jay, I think you have the opening match of the night.
Yeah.
They open the crowd.
You think that's going to be night two?
And maybe night two's opening event, get the crowd going on night two before the main event, Jay, get the crowd up for it.
Yeah.
For the day. Because Jay is just the perfect man to start a match to start the events because he could just like they did with the Rumble, he gets the crowd awake straight away, wakes them all up.
It was me, I'm
here. Day one-ish. And then they went to SmackDown, which was totally not pre-recorded. They somehow made it. They somehow went to America and then traveled to Australia in one day. It's very impressive. In just not even a couple of hours, they somehow got to Australia in under 8 hours.
The location looks very similar as well to the last SmackDown.
It's very impressive how quick they got to Australia for the Saturday morning. Impressive. They must have gone private jet, full speed on the engines over there. But yeah, they went there. Grayson Waller was loving it. They did the kind of like pre-show before the thing, and he came out and hosted it because, of course, he's a big end. You had the stare downs of all the people. Australia really loved Tiffany Stratton.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
NXT, so potentially she could be a future like heel superstar that's loved. One of those like weird, lovable heels that people cheer for, even though you're not supposed to.
I didn't realize she used to be a United States part of the Olympics for America in gymnastics.
She is also going out with Ludwig Kaiser in real life.
Oh, shit.
And I noticed because I saw a TikTok of them together. You had Seth Rollins calling out The Rock in the pre-show because the crowd hated The Rock too there. You had Mommy and Grayson Waller both do a shoey at the end of that press conference.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing in Australia. No, I don't know if I'd really be drinking beer out of my shoe, to be said, because that's. But more power to them.
We get enough viewers in here. Crazy Boom will drink out of a shoe at the end of the stream.
One day, maybe one day. But we'll go back to SmackDown. We saw Tiffany get a win over Liv.
Yep.
We saw Braun Breaker get an NXT opponent as his first SmackDown one and just squashing him completely.
Yep.
The Legado del Fantasma just beat the hell out of the LWO backstage.
Yep.
Of course, Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough got their asses kicked by the Judgment Day's opponents because it was always going to be the case.
Yeah, just...
Karrion Kross injures Bobby Lashley before the chamber. Damages his arm. That's why he's a little bit not on his full strength in the chamber.
Yeah, Dominic and just a kind of a warm up act now.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley's group is setting up for a match, and they're kind of like a Mania thing because they keep feuding. Yeah. Bobby Lashley could make an argument that he might have been able to win the chamber if he was 100%, but Karrion Kross pretty much damaged his arm.
Yeah, I thought what's his name was going to win the chamber. Randy Orton.
He's very close. We'll get to that. But we also had a segment from we had once again a faction that you want to become a faction, which is Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller standing beside each other, and then Kevin Owens shows up to antagonize them, Logan again, and then he leaves, and then Logan goes like, "Why didn't we jump him?
I don't think
we could have jumped him."
Become a faction anymore. I think there's tension there between Waller and Theory.
We'll get to that because it's a bit confusing when we get to those points. But I love the way Logan, when Kevin leaves, Logan just says to the other two, "Why didn't we jump him? He's right there. We could have jumped him." And then the other two are like, "Oh, you wanted us to jump? Oh, it's my bad." I love that segment. But then we had a thing where the tribal chief wanted to speak to Grayson Waller ahead of the Elimination Chamber to ask him something. We'll get to what that was in a second, because that's a confusing point.
It is.
Now we go to the Elimination Chamber, and we start with a pre-show that came out of nowhere, literally hours beforehand. They decided to add a tag match between the Kabuki Warriors and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Now, this only is realistically, because they didn't really deserve an opportunity at this moment of time because they haven't done anything like on Raw to get it. But it's only because Indy Hartwell is Australian. They wanted another Australian on the card, so they gave her the pre-show match.
Yep.
But they were never winning against the Kabuki Warriors because they still need those tag titles for the story with Damage Control that's happening.
Yeah. I think they'll hold it for a while. Till at least till after WrestleMania.
Till at least that like entire feud is buried. Then you had the women's chamber match, which surprisingly Naomi was the first to go, which I was surprised a bit.
Yeah.
How about that one? But it was a cracking match. Like Tiffany showed really well. The crowd really loved Tiffany. I think she's definitely a future star.
Liv Morgan did well as well.
Liv Morgan did well. They showed Bianca as this like unstoppable force for a while. She was almost using her finisher about 5 times on people that just had to quickly get out of it. She was she was defeated by a roll up in the end by Liv, but then Liv celebrating that kind of put her susceptible to a manhandle slam, and then the person we all suspected to win won in Becky. But I think they did a good job of getting to that point. Rather than we all kind of predicted Becky. It was very predictable, but like they did a good job getting to that part.
Yeah, that's gonna be a cracking match. That can main it. I think that can main event night 1.
That's what I'm saying. We got a very complicated night 1 pick because you can make an argument for Bayley, you can make an argument for Seth, Drew, and now you can also make a pretty big argument for Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley as a big match.
I don't think Seth Drew main events because they
but you get it with the time. Right.
I just think they've been playing that championship down too much, and I
get what you're saying, but that championship needs the main. It doesn't deserve it, but it needs it. If you get me.
Yeah.
But like you could very easily make Becky Rhea as Becky is the only woman to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And Rhea Ripley said herself that she sees no reason why they couldn't be the main event, the two of them.
Yeah. Definitely.
Then we had arguably one of the best matches of the night, which was actually Judgment Day versus what they've now called themselves the New Catch Republic.
Yep.
It was a really good match. They did well to each other.
They came really close.
Dominic doing his usual snidey self.
Yeah, he got told by the ref. Yeah, Dominic.
Yeah,
Day interference won that for him, I think.
Yeah, he
might revisit.
Yeah, he got in trouble, and then they had to black out the screen for a little bit because apparently, which I don't agree with them blocking out the screen because it's a little harmless. Apparently, the entire front row just flipped Dominic off when he got in trouble. And that's why, like, it suddenly cut the black, like, live, because the entire front row was just doing this to Dominic.
Nice.
But Judgment Day retain, as we expected. They're going to drop it at Mania. It's just what I think they're going to drop it.
I hate Dominic.
Yeah. No, but it would have been worse in, like, England. That was in England. Yeah. You would have called him a wanker or something. Like, the entire crowd would be chanting he's a wanker.
Yeah.
But Judgment Day retain, which I expected them to. I think they're going to drop it at Mania to Awesome Truth. That's still my...
I agree. I reckon that's what they're going to do, yeah. And they'll have...
I think the story of R-Truth is still there. and he's so
I don't think it'll be as good as last year with...
No, but I think it's just for the pure fact R-Truth is so over with the crowd and he deserves at least one more title run with being this like...
It worked last year having a tag match with it won't be as good as last year with Kevin Owens and Sammy.
It won't be as good, but I think just the pure factor of everyone just loves R-Truth would just make it enjoyable match.
Yeah. Card's coming along
but
nicely now.
He was R-Truth was trying to be at this match, the Judgment Day match, but he ended up going to Austria.
Yeah, I think
because he saw us as the name for the flight and went and thought, oh, Elimination Chamber's in Austria. I'll go to Austria. Went to Austria Stadium. Goes like, where's everybody? Till we all have to tell him it's actually in Australia, mate. So he was very disappointed.
Yeah, card's coming on nicely now. It's there's a few like we called it a few weeks back. I think there's a few matches we've got wrong now.
Exactly.
From the build up, I think we predicted Logan wrong. I think Logan's going to be against Randy Orton now.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We still haven't been talking about the men's thing, but I think it's not just gonna. In my theory, it's not gonna just be Randy Orton because Kevin Owens is still not done clearly with Logan.
Yeah.
I just think he's now forced this to at least be a triple threat, which will cost Logan his title. Because I think when we get to it, I think LA Knight now has a different opponent based on what we've seen.
Yeah,
they pivoted from that, but now going into we went into the Grayson Waller effect with Austin Theory introducing Grayson Waller to his own show.
Yep.
And then we had Seth with a very weird tree lens sunglasses.
That was weird glasses. Yeah.
Don't know where he bought them, but he's trying to be a superhero with that one.
We've heard Roman. He wears his wife's clothes, so they're actually Becky's.
we need to ask Becky where she bought that. And then we had Cody come in, and very weirdly, this segment didn't really hit for me for the most part. I think this was the weakest part of the show, mainly because we set up a big thing the night before of Roman Reigns calling Grayson Waller into his office to ask him for stuff before the chamber, and we never got that paid off. All he did was tell Australia to acknowledge the tribal chief, and then nothing else. Is that all Roman called him into his office? Australia needs to acknowledge me before they come out. Is that all? Yeah. We didn't make it because he said this is for your ears only, Grayson. There's a big secret thing that never.
Yeah, we're never told to acknowledge our tribal chief ever.
It's just the most weirdest plot point the other day that made this seem complete. And the announcements that we got, they could have. I saw one of the people that was reacting to it basically said that segment could have been done as a tweet. Because all it was Seth saying he's medically cleared very soon.
Yeah.
And then Cody saying, "At the Rock, fight me."
Yeah, where's this going to happen? It's going to have to be a SmackDown, isn't it?
Well, The Rock is on.
We got no more pay-per-views before.
Yes, The Rock is on the next 3 SmackDowns in a row, and so is Cody.
That's going to be arguably the biggest match on a SmackDown ever.
Yeah, but both The Rock and Cody are both on SmackDown for the next 3 SmackDowns.
Yeah, because that's like WrestleMania worthy, and it's going to be on a SmackDown.
Which makes me think the match isn't going to actually end properly. Bloodline's definitely getting involved, and Seth's getting involved at some point when that match happens.
Yeah, I still want to see a tag match.
I think that match is going to happen the week before Mania.
Yeah.
As a way for The Rock to weaken Cody before the match against Mania.
Or the SmackDown before Mania. Because the
That's what I'm saying,
So the Friday could weaken the tag championship, then they'll go into Mania on the Saturday, Sunday.
As The Rock's plan to weaken Cody before the event.
Yeah.
Because Cody literally said anytime, any place between now and Mania, he's free.
Yeah.
The call out. So once
It
again, I do
makes
believe
sense, though, 'cause
this could have been as a tweet. You could have done at the Wayne, fight me.
Yeah. Because what does it? You've got a soundboard there. What does Cody need to do?
What does Cody need to do? I think you know what Cody needs to do.
Cody punch Rock right in the face. Who wants to see Cody punch Rock in the face?
So he wants.
That's exactly what needs to happen. Cody needs to punch Rock in the face.
And then after that thing, there could have been a tweet by the two of them. We had Austin Theory do his. It doesn't matter what you think. Cody trying to beat The Rock from Wish. You know, we got The Rock at home. The Rock at home was that guy. And then Seth was loving it. Goes, oh, give us one more. Give us one more. And then it got to the point where it's like, can you smell? And then Seth just, as he said, smell, just whacks him into the Grayson Waller sign. And then Cody covers him. He's on the ground. Grayson looks like he might be about to step in to defend his boy, but then steps away, just letting Seth stomp. Because he was a little bit peeved at the time, Grayson, because as Grayson Waller saying, oh, I've got 2 scoops on my show. This is the best show ever. Grayson grabbed the mic. Grayson got the mic grabbed off him by Austin Theory mid-conversation, which you don't do on Grayson Waller's show. Grab the mic off him. So a little tension there, but then that was forgotten about on Monday when Grayson Waller showed up to challenge Cody to avenge Austin Theory, and I'm like, you just let him get beat up 2 days ago, my friend. Why are you here defending him? But that's different. We'll go now into the men's chamber match, which was a quite funny experience. Surprisingly, we started off with Drew versus LA Knight were the two that started off, which, funny enough, that they've been actually fighting before. They were on old indie things together.
Yeah, they were. They were. That was quite a good fight between those two.
Quite a good fight. You had Kevin Owens in the boot. Just when Logan came in, Logan went over to get in Kevin's face. Before we get to that, Kevin just starts headbutting the thing where Logan gets near. Logan's like, oh. And then Randy Orton decides to climb on top of Bobby Lashley's thing, and Kevin Owens like, Bobby, look up.
Look up.
Look up. Then Logan was actually in there until he was the last one to be released, so he's just there drawing Kevin sucks and like devil horns. With marker in there. But I did love when he's released, as he's about to get released, Kevin just is at the door waiting for it to open.
Yeah. He's at the door waiting for it to open. Chucks him back in.
To which Logan's like, no, don't open. Don't stay closed. Stay closed. But he's like, nah, I'm coming in. And then as
he shuts the door and then they start beating each other. He starts beating him up.
As the commentator says, fit fight in the phone booth, and then Kevin accidentally locks himself in and can't actually reopen it for a bit.
It was funny.
So we saw quite a lot that Kevin Owens is not done with Logan whatsoever, which I kind of expected. I didn't expect Kevin to win because I did say he's going to be too focused on Logan Paul in this match because that feud is not done.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And then
to which Logan was in top. LA Knight was about to eliminate Drew McIntyre at one point in this match, which was very impressive for him. But then the biggest hater in the world that flew all the way to Australia just to ruin LA Knight's day. AJ Styles
comes through the gap when Bobby
got eliminated.
Yeah.
But imagine hating someone so much. Johnno, imagine hating someone so much you fly over 8 hours in a plane to Australia just to cost them on one of their biggest stages.
Yeah.
Any glory. Can you imagine hating someone that much, Johnno? You fly around the world just to stop them from having fun.
Yeah, I think that basically confirms their main event match.
Yeah, that kind of many people wanted LA Knight versus Logan for the US Championship, but I think this pretty much confirms his feud is with AJ Styles. He's going to go over beating AJ Styles. And then, because I don't think they want too many, there's too many cooks going for belts, so I think they're going to just have LA Knight have like a normal feud and then go for belts like after.
Yeah, you can go for about maybe SummerSlam.
Exactly. He could challenge whoever has one of the. He could challenge Drew again if Drew has that belt.
Yeah. On that, we'll come to Drew winning in a minute.
We had Randy Orton pretending his back was broken for the entire match, to where people actually thought his back was broken. They're like, my back. And then RKO'd Drew out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then Logan, who's also pretending like he's hurt and can't leave the ring.
Yeah. Had the knuckles and then came back in the ring. Hit
because before that he was top 3. He put the knuckles on. He's like, I'm gonna win this, and then he got RKO'd and eliminated.
Yeah.
Just before that, so then he comes back.
Medical guys trying to get him out. He won't. Said he's hurt his back, can't move, and then comes back in the ring, hits Randy Orton with the brass knuckles,
and then ends that match.
Yeah. So with Drew winning, and we all know Seth needs an operation, and Seth's going to be out for a while. So
Drew has called himself the savior of WrestleMania, and now he's going to be the savior of the world title.
I think he comes out as the champ.
He's the savior of WrestleMania, Joe.
I reckon he gets cashed in on. I reckon Damian Priest comes out as champ.
I think Drew wins, but then loses.
Yeah, you think Damian Priest will catch in after?
Yeah, but I think Drew will officially win the belt.
Yeah.
And then lose the belt on the same night, and then become more of a heel.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Damian Priest will finally work out how the briefcase works.
Yeah.
After months of trying to,
because I feel like he'll be angry. This is going to be a Damian that's going to be angry because he's going to have just lost the tag titles earlier on in the night.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
he's going to go like, and he's going to be like, I'm keeping a belt tonight. I'm not leaving without a fucking belt.
Yeah, I reckon that starts the split of Judgment Day.
Yeah, because then you'll have Finn, and then you'll go back to the scenario where Finn is the one with nothing.
Yeah.
But I must question, how did Logan Paul get brass knuckles into us? Because that's a banned weapon in Australia. Customs. You're not actually allowed to bring brass knuckles into Australia.
Because it's an elimination chamber, they can bring whatever they want.
No, in the chamber, but there's no way anyone can actually get that true into Australia. Someone's slacked off on their job at border control, I'll tell you that much. He wasn't searched thoroughly enough.
They sell him in the mega store.
He must have called up people in Australia. Does anyone have illegal black knuckles just hidden somewhere I could pick up?
Yeah, they sell them in the WWE store. Brass knuckles.
Rhea Ripley did try Prime at the day before the press yoke, and she said it's shit, but she needs to be refreshed.
Yeah.
Not sure Logan wanted to hear that part.
At least she's not barfing in it like
Kevin Owens. It might be a good bat. You never know. Might be a good bat. And they all got to pet koalas in Australia, which is quite nice. Kevin Owens also wants to apparently take home the koala. Every time we've been there. Yeah. Then we have actual main event where Nia Jax was playing the bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
Whereas Rhea Ripley was kind of the baby face because she's at home with the crowd.
Yeah, she was never going to lose that. She was. We've all known that the main event, her main event, was going to be against Becky at WrestleMania.
No, but they made
This was in
they,
her hometown. She was never going to lose.
Yeah, they did make the entire match though them squashing Rhea Ripley for like the majority of the match. Nia Jax was just completely destroying Rhea Ripley. They made Rhea Ripley very much the underdog in that fight.
Yeah.
Where she had to dig in deep and come out on top and get to celebrate with her family.
Yeah.
Which was a good moment for her to celebrate with her parents and stuff.
Yep.
Weirdly enough, in this match, before I get all this thing, she didn't have much pyro. It was like Cody had all the pyro. Cody had fireworks.
Yeah.
Then Drew got a little bit of fireworks, but Drew said when you win the chamber, you get a part of Cody's pyrotechnics budget.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And then we go into the Raw after. We have things have shaped up. We go into the Raw that we just had, where you had Rhea Ripley opened the show with Dominic. Dominic did shout out Mommy being still the champion. The crowd booed as always.
Yeah.
Then Becky Lynch came out and called Dominic Mysterio kumquat.
Yeah.
Which Pat McAfee was not expecting that when he goes, "What?" She went pure Irish. If your mommy doesn't shut you up, I will.
Yeah, that was funny. I would have loved Becky to shut Dominic up.
It might happen eventually. On the lead up to this, I think it was a good promo from the two of them to start off the night.
Yeah, that's gonna be one. That's gonna be a really good match.
Because their last match that they ever had was on NXT, and that ended in a DQ rather than them actually finishing the match.
Yeah.
So they've never actually had a proper match that ended with a winner.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting match. She's kept the hat, like she said. Becky Lynch, she loves the hat.
I do like that. I just see that.
And then a salty Nia Jax just beats up Becky straight away.
Yep.
Which, fair enough, a few weeks ago, which was very surprising before the Rumble, they made Becky completely lose her feud to Nia Jax. So I guess we're now making her win that feud.
Yeah, they're going to have a match again before Mania, aren't they?
Next Monday, I believe it's scheduled for.
Yeah.
And I feel like Becky's going to win that.
Yeah, she got to. You can't not make her lose twice before her main event.
And then I think Liv's going to get involved because later on the night, Liv was fighting Nia Jax. Liv gets knocked to the ground, and then Becky comes up and beats up Nia Jax, causing a disqualification.
There's a few big stars there in the women's division who's obviously not got a main event. Do you think there might be a triple threat?
I think it might just be like a showcase match. I very much think Liv's gonna fight other people. I don't think Liv's going to get into the picture.
Yeah.
For the title this time. I think it's gonna be I think one of the Raw matches is gonna be Liv versus Becky to build up Becky for the next one. Because I think the moment Becky defeats Nia Jax, Liv's gonna get her own back because after her breaking up the Liv Nia Jax, Liv at the end goes like, "Not everything's about you, but you don't care, do you?" And then walks away. Yeah. So I think they're teasing like a match before Mania for them too.
Yeah.
Which might, if Liv loses that, might just turn Liv more into like she's going into a very dark revenge type place currently. She's in between all of that.
Yeah.
We had then Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the 50th time.
Yeah, definitely seen that before.
Where both of them just were out to kill each other in this match.
At least now that they're feuding again, it means they've got rid of him from this Cody story, because keep fighting with Cody made no sense for the story at all.
I think it was just Shinsuke Nakamura trying to do an anime villain that just seems to always lose his anime villain fights. And Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura very much looked like they were trying to kill each other in this match with some of their moves that they were doing to each other.
They both got something to prove, haven't they?
Yeah, where Sami was starting to doubt himself, and he even admitted after the match that if he lost this one, he would have not known where to go. From there. He kind of hit the Haluma kick twice, a back of the head Haluma kick, and then a proper Haluma kick to win this match.
Yeah, I'm glad he won, but I still don't know where they're going with him.
I don't know where they're going with Shinsuke from this point.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with both.
It's a weird man. Sami, you can kind of like... They're kind of like Sami's like going to try and find the path to WrestleMania. He doesn't know what that path is yet. He just wants a win, which he got to help start that path. And then afterwards, you kind of... Then afterwards, we had an interview where Imperium walks past him and stares him down. And then you see a small stare down between Gunther and Sami, where Gunther just laughs at Sami.
Yeah, well, Sami's got Gunther, hasn't he? Coming up. Not sure when it is. He has got a match with Gunther, I believe.
Probably on a live event, but like we haven't seen it on main roster for a while. But he kind of laughed and then walked away, and then which had some people teaming like, are they trying to tease us like Gunther versus Sami for the Intercontinental title? At that point, we kind of got about 5 people being. We kind of got about like 3 different people being teased for this Intercontinental. So might be a fatal 4-way. You never know.
Yeah.
For that Intercontinental title.
I love if Sami wins it. Sami deserves the title.
But I'm going to get to another person that I think deserves it as well. We put down there.
Yeah.
We'll get to him in a second, but you had that kind of stare down with kind of Imperium then came in and did their entire usual speech. And then they get interrupted by the Judgment Day. Everyone gets interrupted by the Judgment Day once. He goes like, who's going to be my opponent for WrestleMania? I heard you saying Chad Gable. I hear you saying Sami Zayn. He starts listing different superstars.
Yeah. Maybe we're all thinking it's going to be Drew McIntyre that gets cashed in. Maybe he's too scared to go for the main title. Maybe he'll catch it in on.
Then they come in, they stare down, and he goes like, and the Judgment Day goes like, we're coming after every single goal, and that includes yours, sir. And then Gunther actually calls it out. It's like, well, I don't think you're going to cash in on this belt now, are you?
Yeah.
So who's fighting me? Is it you?
Dominic.
Is it Finn? And then Dominic steps in front of him, and then Gunther just hysterically laughs with the like the Dominic. Which I like Dominic at the moment, his heel persona, but he's not beating Gunther. He's getting squashed. He's getting squashed if that ever happens.
Yeah.
They have to stare down, they leave, and then Rhea Ripley also concurs with us and goes like, really, Dominic? Gunther? Of all the people, Gunther?
Yeah. He's definitely not going out as Mania with that bout. Because I think they want to move him onto the main push.
I think he loses the Intercontinental Championship at Mania and then goes for the more important ones.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think you could protect Drew if you make it a triple, like the fatal 4-way that I'm thinking. You could honestly make that Gunther doesn't necessarily have to be pinned.
Yeah.
To lose everything.
Yeah.
You can't do a way to protect Gunther, but still make him lose the title.
Yeah. I think that's best because I think he's done all he can with that Continental, and I think he needs to move on. Like, as you know, I wanted him to face Seth for the Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. That's obviously not happening. But I reckon it happens in he wins the belt, but Bash and Berlin now. It makes sense.
Never know. Damien cashes in and Damien has the belt. You can have, Judgment Day cost me my belt, so I'm coming after you and your belt.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe.
Yep. They wouldn't give it to Dominic, no way. Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, I can't see Dominic winning the title at the moment. Maybe a tag title.
That's what I'm saying. If Dominic is there, you could have him be the reason that Gunther doesn't retain. Like, not necessarily win, but be the reason that Gunther slips up against like a Sammy or a Chad Gable.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of which, then we had the background segment with Adam Pearce on the phone to Bronson Reed, congratulating about his child, and then Chad Gable comes in and goes like, I know Gunther's looking for his opponent for Mania, and a lot of people are going to come to you wanting to be that, but I actually have a proper motivation to get that match. The last time I fought him, he made my little girl cry in the front row, and then called me a terrible father. And he's like, for everyone else, it would just be about the title. For me, it's about redemption. I think
that would be one hell of a match at Mania as well, because it was a really good match.
It was three really good Raw main events.
Yeah, it could have arguably been. Yeah, I think it's definitely a match for Mania.
And Chad Gable is still the only person on the main roster to actually beat Gunther technically, but it was just by count out. But he's the only one to actually give Gunther a loss.
Yeah, the other person they were saying is the guy who's just come up from NXT. The guy from NXT. Let's Paul Heyman guy.
Braun Breaker, but the only problem with that SmackDown kind of Raw it's harder to do. It's harder to get to that part, but I do think I would love to see a Chad Gable versus Gunther on an actual proper pay-per-view, because it deserved those three Raw main events deserve the pay-per-view, and they never got it.
Yeah. But if they do it, I just don't know where they go with Sammy. So maybe it is a three-way.
Yeah, because they teased Gunther with like three different people there, so that's why I'm thinking maybe a fatal four-way they might be setting up for that.
Yeah. I think it makes sense because Sammy needs something, and I don't know who else he could fight. Realistically.
And we get to see I want to see in Mania. Thank you. And then after that, we had Chelsea Green be salty that she didn't get the chamber. Go like Raquel showed up out of nowhere last minute and wasn't told about it.
And you mean Chelsea Green? I can't do it.
Yeah, it's Chelsea Green. She was mad because she actually played it smart. She rolled out the bottom of the ring so that she was actually still in, but waited till everyone else was eliminated, and then came up. But then Raquel just choked her out. She wasn't happy about that. So she got a match, but Raquel, as expected, squashed Chelsea Green. I'm not sure what to do with Chelsea Green. She's kind of just like that. I'm going to complain to the manager kind of heel, but I do think she has a chance this year to maybe win the briefcase at Money in the Bank, because she is from Canada.
Yeah,
it is in Canada. I do think there's a strong, like Sammy, I do think there's a strong possibility that they win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling Sammy to win that.
It's the easiest way for Sammy to become a world champion.
Yeah, I reckon he wins a mid title though. Yeah, not because he said himself he doesn't think he doesn't know if he could hold the WWE title. So I reckon he wins a mid title.
He wants to be a world title holder at least once because he never had that.
Yeah. I don't think it's yet though. I think he had his chance last year. I think he'll go for a mid card and then work up again to that heavyweight title.
Yeah, because they paint him as the underdog going into Mania again, where he's trying to find his position in Mania. From main eventing last year, he's kind of near the bottom this year.
Yeah.
He's trying to get back up to the main event kind of scene.
Yeah.
And then you had Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae get the asses kicked out of them by Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Just because Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark was like, you guys didn't deserve that match that you got at Chamber. We've done what do we have to do to get a match against Kabuki Warriors at this point? Everyone else is getting handed matches against the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
Then you had a very good street fight with Imperium and the New Day, which surprisingly Imperium won.
Was good, yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Although I think the New Day sealed their own face because they're wearing the Sharks jerseys from where they were, but the Sharks are notorious losers and bottle jobs. So I think they sealed their own fate by wearing the Sharks jerseys going into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Imperium look strong going into Mania season.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. We'll see what we do. Then we have Drew McIntyre goes into the ring, sits down like CM Punk in the middle of the ring, tells someone in the crowd stop looking up his kilt, you perv. He does the old pipe bomb pose, and then goes. He was thinking of CM Punk during that match in the Chamber, and how he wished you could be there. That probably sucks to see him there. And he wanted to celebrate in CM Punk's honor, and he knows CM Punk is straight edge, doesn't drink anymore, so he drank enough for the two of them for the weekend, which is very nice of him.
Yeah,
very nice of him. And then wanted to called out the champ to come down to have a conversation with the champ. And cue Mr. Oh for about an hour and a half. And then they have Drew pleading with Seth to not get involved with the Bloodline. He wants to fight him. Normally, the Bloodline are just going to make you weak, and then it's going to be easy for him. Like, why are you getting involved? And then Seth goes like, yeah, but if I don't get involved, it doesn't matter if me or you have this title. They're eventually coming for it. If we don't stop them, someone has to try and stop them now.
Indeed.
And he goes like, if we can take them out, then it will just be me and you in our match. We won't have anyone to worry about.
Maybe he gets through to him and Drew gets involved as well.
We're trying to convince like then we'll just be me and you 1-on-1 like you want. If we can take them out and just eliminate the Bloodline completely before Mania. Which I'm not sure if Drew... And basically, it was the entire set saying some risks are worth taking. He goes like, what if you're wrong about this and I'm perfectly fine? My back is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
After this, and you're the one that's not. Basically, kind of like that vibe. And then goes, and then leaves, giving Drew a bit to think about.
Yeah.
And then we had the main event, Grayson Waller versus Cody Rhodes. which we all expected Cody to win that. We all expected Cody to win that match.
Yeah.
Austin Theory tried to help, but I think he got in the way of Grayson Waller in this match.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, I reckon they're building. Yeah, I don't reckon that faction goes together anymore. I reckon they're going to build on something with Theory and Grayson Waller.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Which one do you turn babyface? Because they both work so well as heels, or do you just have them both as heels?
Yeah.
Because I always thought the dynamic of heel versus heel sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. So now we know. Well, we basically know what we think is the card. Let's go through it and see what we think.
Real quick, I want to mention just before we get to the card, the aftermath of that match with like Paul Heyman showing up with like the NYPD.
Yeah, that was funny.
Off-duty cops just around him, goes like, "May I?" And he goes like, "If this is a bloodline trap, come get me."
Yeah.
Cody gets a chair and goes. Cody gets a chair, sits down, and goes, "I'm done being nice.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of being nice, Paul." And then Paul goes to the ring, goes, "May I?" And then Cody answers, "No, you may not." which is very unlike Cody at this moment. So I'm like, whoa. Cody is pure going. He's done with this. He goes, just tells him no and goes like, and then the NYPD officers get in the ring, and then Cody does a little bit of a threat, goes like, if one of them step one bit closer to me, I'm dropping everyone in this ring.
Yeah.
And then Paul goes like, well, obviously that doesn't apply to me. And then steps in the ring, goes like, and then Cody goes, "You're wrong," and then just starts dropping everyone.
Yep.
Which Paul goes, "I'm out of here," and then calls Roman Reigns in the Rock.
Yep.
On the
2
phone.
phones now. Yeah.
Exactly. One for the Rock, one for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Because God forbid he has both their numbers in one phone. He needs he's a different phone for each person's number. He has the Jimmy phone in his left pocket, the solo phone in the right pocket. You know, he needs a phone for each member. He had the J phone.
I feel disrespected for The Rock though, because The Rock was an iPhone 13 and Roman had an iPhone 14.
Actually, you should see what he has for the Jey Uso phone. That's an iPhone 6 at this point because he hates Jey Uso.
That was quite funny.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and then that goes in like Paul Heyman was trying to convince Cody to call off his fight with the Rock. And call out of the Rock because he goes like, out of respect, you are the main event now. Even though we're pissed off that you're fighting Roman, don't pick a fight with the Rock. It's going to be detrimental to you getting to the main event against Roman Reigns. Trying to come from like because Paul Heyman isn't exactly 100% a bad guy. He's just following Roman Reigns. He's just like, all due respect, you are the main event. I respect your family. Don't do this.
Yeah.
But Cody is done. Is done playing games.
He's gonna punch people in the face.
Gonna punch people in the face, but he also is gonna reveal genders. Yeah. After the match, there was a sign saying, "Cody, are we having a boy or a girl?" Sure. He was like, "Do you have the envelope?" He said, "Are you sure about this?" He's like, "Yeah, let's find out." And they revealed that it was a boy. Yeah. So, congratulations to them.
Said don't if you want to name it Cody, I wouldn't recommend it.
Solo will be coming out of nowhere if you name it Cody. But there's a lot of Cody crybabies in the crowd recently. Everyone's a Cody crybaby these days. And
I'm a Cody crybaby.
Same. I actually love when the stars interact with some of the signs. Like I know, like a week or so ago, Becky saw a sign and goes like, "Well, I guess I'm going to the prom in 2034." Because I was asking Becky in 2024, can I go to the prom with you? So I do like when that happens, where they just start interacting with some of the signs.
Yep. Indeed.
But yeah,
So-
now we can talk about the Mania card. We got a lot of things wrong in our predictions.
Yeah, so let's start from where do you want to start? Let's go.
Let's start with what we got right. Let's start where we got right. The Usos. We got that right.
Yeah, Usos are definitely happening.
We got Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley because it was predictable.
Yes, I'm going to go Jay. Jay beats Jimmy.
I think that's the inevitable because I think Jay needs to get the Jimmy off his back that he can actually start winning titles.
Yeah. And then I think they fix their hatchet. Jay beats Jimmy. Then Jimmy doesn't come out when Roman needs him in the main event. They get to Solo. Solo doesn't come out as well. Roman's left alone and then is pinned by Cody. So obviously, I've just said I think Cody beats Roman. I link those matches together. Drew versus Seth. I'm going to say Drew, as we were saying earlier, Drew wins and gets cashed in on. Damien comes out as champ.
Potentially, potentially with the story of him getting involved protecting Cody, you might have a little bit of bloodline interference in Seth's match, being that he's supposed to be the Shield.
Yeah, definitely. Then we have AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Some of these aren't confirmed yet, but they're obviously going to happen.
It's LA Knight trying to defeat his biggest hater in the world.
Yeah, I think LA Knight wins that. Comes up on top after the attacks from.
But honestly, I wish I was as petty as AJ Styles that I'd fly all the way to Australia just to stop my biggest enemy from eliminating someone and having fun.
Yeah. Then Rhea versus Bailey. Becky. Sorry,
Rhea versus Becky. It's Bailey versus Eve.
Yeah. I reckon Rhea retains, but it's going to be really tight.
You know I have to back the Irish, so I have to back Becky for that one, regardless.
I want Becky to win, but I reckon Rhea retains.
You can make the argument because this is Rhea's one and only match where you can actually go like, whoa, she could lose it here. Because all the other matches they had, though they were brilliant matches, you always expected Rhea to win them in the end. This one, you don't know.
Yeah. And they kind of built her up as that Roman figure of the women's division. So I don't think they'd. I reckon she'd retain.
But you also see them building up like Becky is like this one person that Rhea hasn't faced yet. You know, like they kept them apart all year.
Yeah. It's going to be a good match, but I'm going Rhea retains on that one. She's the only title I think retains on the night of WrestleMania. I'm saying it. It's the only title retaining.
I'm predicting no title retains. Every title switching hands.
Then
I'm now leaning towards the fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Champion. It would still be amazing just a 1v1 Chad Gable versus Gunther, but they have about three people looking at Gunther. But they have about three people looking at Gunther at the moment that it just makes it's just pointing me at this moment in time to a fatal four-way.
Yeah. And you might be able to get Jay and Imperium, the New Day involved in that feud as well to make Sammy win.
Possibly. But I'll be rooting, as much as I love Sammy and I'll be happy if he wins it. Chad Gable to finish his story
Nah, Sammy's gonna win
Chad Gable deserves a title.
So does Sammy. I'm backing Sammy. I'm backing my boy.
Sammy has already had the Intercontinental contract. Chad Gable has had nothing. He deserves a title run. And
Dominic's winning it. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nah, Dominic's going to win
it. Dominic's going to have to find his arm after the match. I'll tell you, I'm just not want to.
No.
But so, I'll be back. You're backing Sammy for that. If this turns out to be, I'll be backing Chad Gable because I just love Chad Gable.
Then we got a tag match. I say Judgment Day lose to R-Truth, as we said earlier.
Yeah, I think they're leaning towards that. Like we had in the last segment, you had them in the Judgment Day clubhouse because the Judgment Day left, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H said, "We're gonna cheer you up. We're gonna get the Judgment Day back," which signals that their feud is not done. And he says, and he goes like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" He goes like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna regenerate." Like, no, it's degeneration. And so the Regeneration X now.
Did you see there was a little clip with R-Truth saying to
yeah, he went to NXT and found Johnny Gargano
and said
Johnny Gargano, it's like you remind me a lot of Shawn Michaels, Johnny.
Yeah. Like, really? Don't know why.
Shawn. So now we know he thinks if he ever meets Triple H, he goes like, Tommaso Ciampa, you remind me a lot of Triple H. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So R-Truth wins. Then we have the other women's match. I'm going Bailey beats Io Sky.
Yeah, I'm going Bailey. And there might be there'll definitely be interference from the Kabuki Warriors and maybe Dakota Kai, depending on how the story goes. And possibly Bailey wins and then Dakota Kai betrays. I fully expect Dakota Kai to betray Bailey last second. But I think she might help Bailey win and then betray her.
Yeah, I don't think she's on either side.
That's what I'm saying. I think she helps Bailey win and then betrays Bailey at the end of that match.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm all for it.
But you're gonna see them tomorrow. Tag team Bailey and Dakota Kai tag tomorrow against the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, definitely. Then what else have we got?
There'll probably be some kind of showcase match. There usually is with everyone else that's not a part of a feud.
Yeah, I reckon there'll be. There's quite a few big women. There's definitely
there's going to be a women's showcase and a men's showcase. Probably a tag men's showcase of the other tag teams that are not involved in anything.
I reckon there might be like a 4 or 5 way with there's quite a few women there that are on the picture who not going to have an event, so I reckon they'll be in like a fatal 4-way or something.
Yeah, just a showcase match to like in between feuds.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have a US title match at some point, either night 1 or night 2.
Oh yeah.
With Logan Paul, it's probably gonna be Randy Orton now that he's sucker punch Randy Orton. He's definitely probably gonna go after Logan for that one. But I also think Kevin,
he doesn't want to fight Kevin again, but Kevin wants it. So,
but I do think Kevin gets into that match still.
Yeah,
because Kevin is clearly not done with Logan, even though Logan's done with Kevin. There's still and I think Kevin gets himself into whatever Mania match that is with Logan. But I also think Randy gets involved now also with that and tries to weasel in. He goes after Logan, but then Kevin shows up.
It works both matches. If Kevin wins that or Sammy wins the Intercontinental, it could set up a match with Sammy and Kevin in the future, because they maybe at next WrestleMania, like looking a year into advance, because they said that Kevin has said that he wants to face Sammy at WrestleMania in the future.
And Finn.
Yeah.
He's mentioned Finn Balor. Finn Balor and Sammy is the two he wants to face at Mania.
So that could set that up for the future.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
quite possible.
you'd have to have one of them switch brands.
Which you can with the next draft. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. But I do think Kevin gets involved in that match, and I think now it'd be. I always thought it was probably going to be. You thought LA, and I the way it was looking up, I think it was going to be Kevin versus Logan again at Mania, but now with him punching Randy out, completely costing Randy, I think it's now going to be a triple threat, at least between the three of them.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to say...
Where the question is, for a part of it, you'll probably see a pseudo kind of tag team between...
I'm going to say Randy wins that. Yeah, I'm going to say Randy wins that.
I'll be rooting for Kevin, but I can see Randy winning. I can see Randy winning it because he's Randy Orton. I can definitely see him winning it.
Yeah.
I'll in my heart I'll be rooting for Kevin the entire match, but I can see, because I do think part of the match would be Kevin Owens and Randy teaming up just to beat up Logan for a bit, because they both will hate Logan.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's set to be a good match. And then the Rock has to get involved at some point in this WrestleMania now that he's back.
He'll be involved in a main event somehow, if it's interference or...
Yeah.
I don't think
he's gonna have to show up and be a part of a match at some point. Maybe with usual bloodline match against Roman, the ref gets knocked out at some point.
Yeah. I think he'll be involved in that match somehow.
When the ref gets,
have a match on the card.
Yeah, I think when the ref gets knocked out, you'll see the Rock's music hit. When the ref gets knocked out, which is when we'll get the Avengers spot of everyone showing up to punch out the bloodline.
Yeah,
when the ref gets knocked out, because it will look like, because the ref will get knocked out, Cody will get dropped instantly. I reckon they're going to do like the bit again where they're going to do it where it looks like it's going to end the same way. I reckon the spike is going to happen to Cody's throat again. He's going to go down and everyone goes like, oh no, it's going to end the exact same way as last year. But then this time, I reckon Cody kicks out of it.
Yeah.
When last year he didn't.
Yeah. And then everyone beats him up. Beats Roman up.
Exactly, because I think you do get like the Avengers kind of like summoning to take out the bloodline.
Yeah, and then Cody will finish his story.
As to the disgust of all the Roman fanboys on Twitter that are like, Roman's keeping the title past WrestleMania.
Can't say it.
But what I will say, a bit of a scoop, Johnno. And next Friday, the 8th, you know the way The Rock is on the show and Cody's on that show? Now confirmed to also be on the show next Friday is Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
All three are advertised for next Friday.
Is Roman on?
I don't know about Roman because we never know with Roman if he turns up or not. But I just know Seth, Cody, and The Rock are all advertised for next week. So it might be a confrontation between the three of them.
I'm really looking forward to the tag match.
I'm saying you might get a teaser for it next week because all three of them are on in the SmackDown Stadium that day.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to, all three of them are in the building, it would make perfect sense to at least tease an answer from The Rock at that for their match.
Yeah, I think that's arguably going to be like, when that's booked, Rock versus Roman, that could be arguably one of the biggest matches not on a pay-per-view.
That's what I'm saying. That could be the biggest SmackDown main event they've ever had.
Yeah. Definitely. Because he's not scheduled for any Raws, is he?
No, The Rock is scheduled for the next 3 SmackDowns.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely happened at SmackDown.
And I think the match gets made official, gets teased to make official next week. Like I said, the 3 of them are on that are scheduled to be on SmackDown that day.
So they're going to next week. They're going to tease it. The week after, they're going to have Rock versus. No, I think that the second week they'll have the tag match, and then they'll have Rock versus Roman before Mania.
Yeah. I think you'll probably have the next week. You'll probably have Cody come out and face The Rock just once again 1v1 where he goes I have an answer for The Rock. Probably The Rock tomorrow is probably going to go I'm not answering you yet. Probably going to go I won't. I'm going to make you wait, and then next week you'll have an answer for him. And go I accept your challenge next week, and then he's going to have a face down. But then the Bloodline's going to come out and surround Cody with The Rock.
Yeah.
And then Seth is going to come out to also be beside.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be the next week you're going to have the Bloodline surrounding Cody with The Rock giving him an answer.
Yeah.
And then Seth's going to come out to back him up in that ring with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe Kevin gets involved. He hates the Bloodline.
Everyone
and
hates
LA,
the Bloodline.
You know, he did help LA Knight at one point. Maybe LA Knight comes out to help. He likes beating up Solo. Hand him another loss.
Yep.
At least this time with The Rock, if The Rock fights Cody before Mania, at least Solo doesn't have to lose before Mania like he always does.
Maybe you could have Solo versus Sammy at Mania to find one of them finally wins a bloody match. Oh no, Sammy won a match, didn't he? He beat he beat Nakamura.
I have an opponent for Solo that he could probably beat. The power of Tozawa versus Solo Sikoa.
Dominic
could
Mysterio
probably win a match.
When's Ray back?
When's who back?
Ray.
I don't know. He says soon. It has to be before Wrestle because I definitely think it's going to be Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio at Mania.
Yeah.
I think he shows up near the end of one of the LWO versus Phantasma matches.
Yeah.
Because I definitely can see that being a not because it's not gonna just a regular end of feud match at Mania between Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which speaking of also main event things coming to NXT, which I'm going to shout out NXT here. Lyra Valkyria, the Irish NXT Women's Champion, and their crazy partner Tannen Paxley, who's in love with her, creepily, is challenging the Kabuki Warriors on Tuesday.
Yeah.
For the women's tag team titles. I don't think they'll win them, but they are challenging for them. It's nice to see. It's nice because they decided to put the women's tag. They decided to put the women's tag team in spread out between 3 brands, but they never actually defend them on NXT. So it's nice to see them actually being defended on NXT for once.
Yeah, I don't know who takes those. I'm not sure who dethrones that tag titles.
They were teasing the witches a while ago. I think eventually they might take it for a bit.
Yeah.
But it
probably will. there probably will be a tag match with Bailey and EO. EO and the Kabuki Warriors versus EO Sky and no, sorry, in my head. Kabuki Warriors versus Bailey and
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, yeah.
Kairi Sane and all that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good old Kairi Sane. I know some people are speaking of the Logan match from before. I like the way people were talking about making it a ladder match by putting AJ Styles LA. That was just them trying to shove LA Knight back into this title picture, which I'm just like, that's just going to be its own feud, lads. As much as you love your ladder matches, I don't think we're putting Randy Orton with his on and off back issues on a ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, he's struggling enough these days without making him RKO someone on top of a ladder these days. It's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
To be doing that now.
Yep.
Kevin Owens is crazy enough to jump on the ladder, but I don't think Randy Orton at this point in his career will be jumping on ladders.
Yeah, can't see that. Anyway.
Oh, speaking of which, Roman is actually advertised for next Friday as well.
Okay, that'll be interesting then.
So the two main Bloodline people and Cody and a Shield are both advertised for SmackDown next week, March 8th. So
maybe the triple threat could be then.
So they'll at least answer Cody and Seth then from the challenge.
Yeah. I think it makes sense if like next week they did the triple threat when they're all there, and then the week after they did Cody versus Rock.
Yeah. But we're definitely going to shape. Jey Uso has to show up to SmackDown at some point to take out his brother as a bit of revenge for his brother coming to. I know afterwards he didn't look like he cared too much from like his interview the week before Drew showed up, and like Drew started him up and go like, I know how you're feeling. I get it, but you deserved it, and then started off a fist fight between the two of them, which we're getting that match again.
Yeah.
On Monday. But eventually Jey Uso has to go back to SmackDown to just beat up his brother for a bit before going into Mania. He's going to have to get his own back.
Yeah.
Maybe set up a title match between Logan and Jimmy on one of the random SmackDowns and have Jey ruin that match before Jimmy wins and takes the title off Logan. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe do it like get his own back. Like Jimmy's about to win the US title off Logan on a random SmackDown before WrestleMania. And Jey shows up and gets revenge and at the very end goes like, how do you like it? Doesn't feel good, does it, Oos? Kind of like that kind of vibe.
Yep.
And then have that show end there, and then we get that match. Because I feel like it's been one-sided into Jimmy at the moment, and we need Jey to get his own back to actually cement that feud to be a proper feud.
Yeah, definitely.
And I 100% think CM Punk is going to be the host of WrestleMania because he's scheduled he's scheduled to actually be on the show on Raw before Mania. He's on the Raw before Mania, which I think he might announced on that. Oh, I'm the host for WrestleMania.
And then I reckon if he doesn't get cashed in on Drew, I reckon he comes into the ring after the match and has a stare down with Drew McIntyre.
Or maybe you see Damien coming in to cash in, and then Punk very quickly knocks over Drew.
Yeah.
As Damien cashes in, you could have CM Punk quickly run over, blindside Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Then run back to his seat. He gets cashed in on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll get involved in that somehow.
Because both people in that match, CM Punk doesn't like, and they don't like CM Punk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for all we have for this week. It's going to be interesting what SmackDown brings with the Rock is now in the bloodline.
Indeed.
I wonder how Roman feels that Paul Heyman has two phones now, one that answers directly to The Rock.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes down. Will we ever learn what Roman Reigns told Grayson Waller that he clearly did not do?
It's just a knowledge of Tribal Chief.
It's like, tell Australia to acknowledge. I really want. This is for your ears only. I'm desperate. Tell them to acknowledge me. The Rock has stole my thunder. Tell Australia to acknowledge me, not The Rock.
Yeah. So, thanks guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
Remember to acknowledge your tribal chief. He's very desperate these days.
Remember to not acknowledge your Tribal Chief.
He's very desperate for acknowledgement these days.
Pick up the Cody Crybabies.
And remember, if you want Broken Dreams as Drew McIntyre's intro for Mania, apparently tweet at Triple H asking for it. That's what Drew said.
Yeah.
And acknowledge our truth. That's who I'll acknowledge. Best member of the Judgment Day, and he's taken back his TV that never had a plug. And as our intro says before, with Degeneration X, remember, we're going for regeneration now.